Hello, everyone, and welcome to the website. This is just a little message just about why I started the Holistic Recruiter Club and what does it mean and what are we trying to do. Um, I think it's born out of a frustration in the space. I believe there's some really amazing people in the space doing amazing stuff. Um, I believe that there's a very low barrier to entry into the recruitment market, which means there is potential for huge levels of diversity, which is fantastic. But the thing that's missing there is the level of training. There's no standardized level of training. And that's a big barrier when you start to go into businesses. And you can already see there's a perception problem in the space. People are not, and when I say people, I mean leaders and exec teams, hiring managers, they tend to look at talent teams as order takers. This is not true in all senses, but the general gist of this that I've got from 140 people that I've spoken to over the last 18 months is this. And it's, what do we need to do to change that? There's going to be no tool that changes that. So I think what we need to do is go to more of a people-centric approach supported by technology. And I basically worked on 5 different pillars effectively that I think could help elevate the talent space. And number one is talent acquisition and market intelligence. So understanding about the actual market, how it's existing right now, and how do you actually go about acquiring those that demographic. That's then propped up with your technology and all the analytics around that to help keep you informed and to make sure that you can keep moving forward. The third one is the candidate engagement and candidate experience. So how do you create the least path to resistance to get the best outcome whilst always giving a really good candidate experience? Number 4 is your brand and content. And there is so many companies doing exactly the same thing. The next startup is the best next startup, the best next thing. And how do you show up authentically? How do you show that what you are as a business, the culture you have, the way you work, your values, how does that translate into your employer brand to attract the right type of people to your business? Because, there was a recent study from, I think it was McKinsey, again, saying that 1 in 3 people will leave within the first 3 to 6 months. And that's within the probation period. And the main reason cited was because there was a disconnect between what they were told the culture was like versus what it's actually like when they arrive. And finally, it's about the talent and team development. Because if you're not learning and you don't continue to push yourself to learn and understand where the market's going and how the people you want to engage are behaving, you're going to be stuck. Because if you're not learning, 1 year goes by, the other companies may be doing this, and you're going to be left behind, which is then going to have a negative effect on everything. And finally, it's about creating those connections between the talent team and the hiring managers themselves. Because if you look at the biggest force of frustration is, 1, the perception problem, 2, there's a communication problem because you might not be able to extract the right information from the hiring managers, maybe because they don't know what they're looking for fully, and they can't necessarily communicate that well. And by spending time and actually working together to create better communication, better processes, that will remove a lot of that frustration and also increase the perception and the value added from the talent teams. So by using those 5 different pillars, I'm hoping that we can use through training, workshops, and community to create best-in-class talent teams. So if you're interested in this type of thing, if you would like to have a chat, talk to me about this type of stuff, and we can see if we can do some work together, please do get in touch.